Hey guys, welcome to a super late night edition to the Pizza Roll Diaries. This is the V Man here from No Budget Productions, and then with me tonight is Dylan Sides. Dylan,
Hello.
you have you have blown me away. You're doing such phenomenal work. Everyone knows me from with my Star Trek fan films and shooting on a cell phone and just being such a low to no budget guy. And you have just you gave me a sneak peek tonight of your film, Batman Other Worlds. Um, what? Go ahead, start from the beginning. From what was the conception of doing a Batman film? Because there's been other Batman films, the one with the Predator and the Alien and the Joker, and then there's City of Scars and a couple Harley Quinn ones. This one, you have so many time periods and everything. What was that like? Like coming into this?
Well, it really began with the first project we did, starting with this channel, which was Revenge of the Mask. I started my career with not Revenge, with the Mask, and a friend of mine, Karen Klosky, who created the prop for the film, the original '94 film. She was a huge Batman fan, specifically of the Tim Burton movies. And when I told her I was going to make a film, she's like, "Oh, one thing you should also do is like make a Batman film, set as basically a third film, because they never did another Tim Burton film, and what would that look like? Maybe if it was like kind of a Flashpoint type situation." And I was like,
Right.
yeah. So when we did Revenge, I said, if we were going to do anything else, there's four movies in my life that really have influenced me as a cinematographer, as a storyteller in general, is Back to the Future, Jumanji, The Mask, and the Tim Burton Batman films. Those are my all-time favorites. And so when we did the film, I really wanted to do these others, but then we kind of got stuck doing Revenge of the Mask, and we ended up doing that for, God, over 2 years. We did the first movie, and then Rise, and then Revenge 2 and Rise 2, all pretty much back to back. And then when Sony approached us to do Jumanji, which was a dream come true, because that's technically not a fan film. That was all done as a charity to raise money for children in hospice, and that was just incredible. And that gave us more leeway with Warner Brothers. And basically, I asked them if we were going to do something like this, what is something we can and cannot do. I told them what I wanted to do, and basically just went over the legalities, and then was like, okay. Basically, the big thing was they didn't want me to spend over a certain amount of money to make it. They didn't want me to crowdfund it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. So basically, we've gotten really good at doing a lot for very, very little. And pretty much the entire project, I can't say exactly how much it was, but it's under pretty much almost every other project we've ever done. And
Mm-hmm.
yet it looks like the biggest, probably. So I'm very proud of that, being able to condense. And yet everybody got paid their normal rates doing the film itself. But it was a very condensed schedule, and it's the fastest release we've ever had.
And
But it was very interesting going into wanting like to replicate all the little things with it. So like the biggest thing was the suits and the props themselves. So I pretty much contacted all the prop people who worked on the original '92 film, because almost everybody from the original film is all but retired, weirdly enough. And I found some old molds from the Batarangs and some molds from the chess pieces, but that's literally all I could find. So I used that to make some master casts, and the rest I had to pretty much make from scratch.
Well, that was the one thing that I would say, and anyone who's watched the trailer can tell that it's you've replicated it perfectly.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let everyone watch the trailer. You guys have you're dropping the film tomorrow, which originally when we were talked about doing this interview, we were going to have this scheduled for Saturday or Sunday, but when I realized, oh wait, they're releasing this tomorrow, I was like, nope, let's just do it live, because I wanted to really kind of encourage my fans to, hey, go check this film out tomorrow. Let's give them a big push. So let's go ahead and watch the trailer. Let me go ahead and put this up real quick. 1 second. We'll watch this trailer, and then we'll go ahead and continue this discussion. 1 second.
All right. Sweet.
Hmm. See, this is why you went.
Just want to start a flame in your heart.
Woo!
So that's dude, like, it's like, just on that trailer alone, man, it's you can the first, like I told you before the show, like I watched the film twice. I got to work and you were like, hey man, I got the film if you want to watch it, and I was like, screw work, I want to watch this. Everything about I was so happy. Brian England says, "Oh, me likey." Yeah, no, it was awesome. And then Victoria Fox says, "Fantastic trailer. So excited for this." Yeah, no, it is great. And Roy Ivy said earlier, the trailer for this is bat-tastic. I can tell you guys, this is a great film. The thing that I loved most, and it was such a small thing. I always wondered as a kid, like, man, they switched Billy D. Williams for Tommy Lee Jones, and man, if we only got that. And then they did the comic, with or they're going to do the comic like with Billy D as Two-Face, and then you guys actually went there, and I was like, that's fucking great, like that's so cool.
Well, the idea with this, and if you actually look closely in the trailer there for a half second, and you'll see it in the film, little Easter egg is if you look in the background of those 3 bat suits, the third bat suit to the back has the neck cut off
Yes.
at where the top of the suit is. So it's a reference to Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the first bat suit, I wish I had more time, because that was supposed to be that suit, and then the suit that was beside the main suit was supposed to be the suit from the first movie.
I was wondering if that was going to be like the little winged thing. I was wondering. I was like, is that what he's going for? I paused. I was like, is that what he's going for? I was wondering if that's what you were going to try to do. Yeah, I was wondering about that. But that,
because the cowls are pretty much the same between both films, but the chess pieces are completely different, and the symbol itself is too. Right. And my friend Brian, he had the symbol I needed, from the original, but I couldn't get a hold of the chess piece in time to make one just for that damn mannequin. It's not like we were even gonna use it in the film. Right. And because I had to make 5 bat suits for this movie, for different things, and I just didn't have time to get to it. So it's a little thing that kind of gets lost in there, but I hope people notice the bat suit in the back. But this is supposed to be a direct continuation of Batman Returns, so it was only logic dictates that, if we were going to have Two-Face, it has to be Billy D.
Right.
And our only reference really for what that would have been like is the cartoon. So, and how that character looked in the cartoon as well. And so we were like, you know what? Then let's do something that feels like it was like if the cartoon and the movie kind of had a baby, as far as like that character goes, something that's a little bit more realistic, but then still kind of lives along those lines.
As I was watching it, you guys really nailed the visuals. And again, like it's easy to go out and kind of kiss, the director's butts and the producers, when you're doing, a film, or an interview. But like watching this, I was taken back to my childhood, man. Like I was sitting there, I was like, it's can it be longer, please? Like I want more. Like can we, this is just too good, and that's I think the biggest compliment like I can give a filmmaker. Like it's just too good, you guys really nailed every aspect of what you guys did. And like I said, the even though the symbol of the first one that you had there wasn't the one from the '89 movie, like I could tell, like you could tell, like that's what you guys are going for, and like the spirit in which you were doing is so good. And the actors who you had, there's a, without spoiling it, there's a joke that he makes when the one character asks a question. There's a joke, and it's such a Michael Keaton thing to say, and I love it. You guys really nailed the character, the writing, like everything. It felt like a very Burton continuation. Everything you did in that aspect, and then when you transition, it's very good. It's the awkwardness.
Ooh. I think I lost
was pretty. You got me back. Sorry, my internet connection kind of sucks out here. You got me back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, sorry, my internet connection kind of sucks out here sometimes.
Oh no.
Now your job was. You got me back?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes my internet connection is kind of terrible. Your job on this was producer, and what all did that entail for this?
Well, I was producer and director of photography, executive producer, along with my my partner on this, Joseph Sheldon Quick. He was the other executive producer on this one as well. Um, but basically, as producer, it keep looking the penguin. Oh, I think I lost you again. You still there, bud?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, there we go. So basically, as executive producer, what I've
I'm
done
still
on
here.
all these films is once we create, the script and get the creative vision down, it's basically my job to hire the right people to do these individual jobs and make sure that creative vision stays on track from the very beginning. So my other partner in this business, Lance Kwas, has been my chosen director for all of these projects from the beginning, and he has such a unique perspective and creative vision that's very similar to mine. We butt heads. As can't give anything away, but you've seen. But we do butt heads, but it's usually in the benefit of the whole project. Um, and so being a prop designer and working in special effects allows me to really have good knowledge of who I need to hire and who to work with. And that's how we got connected with Bobby Lanen, who is an incredible effects guy and an incredible stuntman and an amazing actor. And basically, between us, just as a team, we really don't all have one specific job. I think I wear probably 30 hats on set. Lance wears at least 10, 15. Bobby wears 100. Um, so it basically, I guess it just makes me like the dad of the set, more or less. And it's really just a big family. And we try to keep that atmosphere because just even with the subject matter, what is any film can be, I'm not sure. Any film can be stressful and crazy, but the last couple ones we had, like with Jumanji was just utterly fantastic. Every moment of it, and that one was even crazier than this one was with conception to Dex. We had the weird, horrible task of making Michigan, one of the blandest places on earth, look like 1865 Africa. Which is impossible. So we get really creative.
Had to be creative.
Yeah. And then this one had a lot of its own unique creative problems. Filming, you think being very close to a city like Detroit, we'd have access to just go out in the streets and film whatever. But we have a lot of problems with basically being able to film anywhere in the city. So, and when we filmed this, it was very cold. We had to go leave state to go film the Batmobile. And when we did that all outside for real, and just the one night of doing that was horrible. It was very cold, very frigid. And we were out there for, a good 8 hours, getting everything down. The only pleasant time was just the little bit of sunlight that we had before the sun went down. But it's also my fault for wanting to set this in, Batman Returns instead of the '89, because oh, go ahead.
I had a question about the Batmobile. Was that a full-fledged car, or was that like a miniature model that you used for shooting that?
Oh no, that was the real deal. That was a full-fledged car.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What was that like? How did you come to acquire something like that, or did you build it from scratch, or?
Oh no, so it was actually technically 2 cars, but I'll get into that in a second. But the first one is owned by a man named Rocky Tilson. You can find him on Instagram. No, when we wrote this, I wrote in the script maybe Batmobile because I had no idea if we were going to be able to pull that off. Because I knew there was a guy in Michigan who had a Batmobile, an '89 Batmobile, and I went through hell trying to track him down because we have quite a few connections to movie cars around here, and he's a ghost. I couldn't find him. Come to find out, he sold his car 2 years ago, but fortunately, I found the people that actually made the car for him, and they own a company out in Ohio. So I drove down there because I couldn't find their number. I just found an address. So just the slim chance of figuring out who the hell had the car. we get down there, and I find out that the last guy they sold a car to, the closest person to me, was Rocky. So I gave him a call. They were nice enough to give me his contact information. They probably shouldn't, but I gave him a call, and he was just the nicest guy on the planet. And he's like, "Yeah, why don't you come on down and look at the car?" I'm like, "Rocky, you're 2 states away from me. Like, I'm gonna have to be on the day." He's like, "Oh well, I'm glad that you trust me. It's pretty cool." And I didn't realize how souped up this car was until we actually got there to look at it. The machine guns in the car are real.
Oh wow!
That thing is very fast. It has a really amazing engine in it, so it's not like a kit car. That thing is solid. The only thing he put those modifications on it, we actually requested for him to leave because it made thematic sense. Was he put a couple of headlights in the tube of the car, whatever the jet engine part of it, for basically as headlights for snow. And then I'm like, we're setting this in the snow, so we should probably just leave those lights, and those will look amazing lit up in front of the car. So that's the only real modification we made, was just leaving that in the story. But I'm like, it makes sense. Batman has a see-through snow just like everyone else, and
right.
So yeah, we got there, and we got there, and basically we come up to his house, and very unassuming guy. It's not like he has a mansion. He's not like this big rich dude. He just loves collecting cars. And so he gets in there, he pulls the Batmobile out for us, and all of us are standing around the car just recording it coming out. And it's actually much lower to the ground than it appears to be. I expected this thing to be massive, but it's actually not that big. It's just very, very long. It's about the size of like about 2.5 cars put together. And the way Rocky describes driving it is like driving a stretch limo from the back. It is a pain in the ass. Moving it anywhere was a pain. Getting it to turn a certain way was a pain. It's so wide and so big. And I don't know how he managed to do it, but it is street legal. Yeah. And it's all road. It's on an air compression system, so it actually lifts off the ground when it's not in like prop mode. But the surface of the car is actually taken from the real molds used for the '89 Batmobile. So for all intents and purposes, it's a 1-to-1 copy.
See, it looks badass until like you hit like a speed bump, and then it's like you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. It's the best looking Batmobile, I think. It was always my favorite, but I live in a trailer court, and like every time I go over the speed bump, I'm like, Batman couldn't follow me because it's like it would get stuck, and that's so it actually raises itself up when it drives. Okay, all right.
Well, we didn't have it raised up for our stuff, but when he's driving anywhere real, yeah, he has to have it raised up, or that thing will bottom out like crazy.
Right, right.
It's only got like 2 inches of clearance. And then we got that one, and then the other one that I was really hardcore on wanting to get was I was like, if we're gonna do the '60s, I gotta have the '66 Batmobile. Right. And so I had a friend in town, and that was actually easier to get than the '89 Batmobile. My friend Brian has connections to a bunch of movie cars around town, and thankfully someone down here was really nice to let us use the car for the scene. And that thing is just so damn cool. We shot the '89 car first before we shot anything else. And then that was the second thing we shot. It was back-to-back shooting the '66 car, like literally 2 days later. So that was fun.
I gotta say everybody's enthusiasm for the parts that they played were wonderful. When you mentioned the Batmobile, it just reminded me of everybody's enthusiasm seeing the character hop out of the Batmobile. It reminds me of the television show from, again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here.
Well, we could say that one. Robin our beloved actor Tim Smith plays Robin, and he studied that show more than anyone else on set, and he was determined. He wanted to do a straight cartwheel out of that wheel,
That
and
that's
the owner of
that
the
should
car wouldn't let him do it.
I rewound it a little bit, like outside the Batmobile. As I'm sitting there, I was like, "Did he just do?" No, he did not. Did he just? Oh my God, that shit was so. You could feel, you could feel his enthusiasm. Like, how much fun did he have shooting his Robin role? Because that,
Oh, he
like,
loved every second of it.
I gotta tell you, he was my favorite character. Like Robin, I've told everybody, like Robin is my favorite character, and my son loves Robin. His favorite character too. Like this Halloween, I'm Batman, he's Robin. My wife, I think, is gonna be Joker. I think just so my son can tie her up. But like Robin got me into comic books as a kid.
Uh,
So like knowing Robin was in this film, I was already excited, but seeing this dude, like I hope he watches this because I want him to see, like, dude, you knocked it out of the park, man. Like you are my favorite character in this movie. You really channeled Burt Ward. You channeled that whole series. You were great, man. It was really like I couldn't stop laughing the whole time. It was just great.
oh,
It's just
Tim's
wonderful.
a damn
Um,
chameleon. He always puts 110% into any role that we throw at him. For Revenge of the
mhm,
Mask, when he played Ricky, we were developing the character, and most of that crap was his idea. We
mhm.
wanted to create the most annoying person on the planet, and then and he's like, "I got it. I know exactly what I need to do. Let's dye my hair bleach blonde and my
Mhm,
eyebrows." He lost like an extra 5 pounds, got really
mhm,
jacked up, and then he wanted me to put a sleeve tattoo and a tribal tattoo going all the way up to the top of his neck.
mhm.
And then he got an earring just for the thing. And and he walked around like that for months
Mhm.
before before we even started filming. And and he actually, people loved his look so much. He got a job in between in a music video, playing a blonde haired vampire. Uh, it just worked out. But no, he's a damn chameleon. He oh God, he actually had his hair pretty long before he did that. And I said, "You want to be, Robin?" He just kept religiously watching the show. He probably knows more about that show than I do now.
Uh,
And and then when we got him fitted for the costume, he's just like, the whole day he stayed in character and tried to annoy everyone as much as possible.
I believe, his cheesy smile, dude. Like I can still see it in my eye. Like
Yeah, the,
I I showed my coworker, like as soon as the music and the sound, like he thought I was watching the TV show because at work, like I can watch my stuff while I'm doing my paperwork, and he's like, "Oh, you watching the TV show?" I was like, "No, I'm not, but dude, check this shit out." And we start watching it. He was like, "Oh my lord!" And like, and that was his only response. I was like, "Dude, this shit's great," you know. I mean, and this dude's like 50 or 55 years old. Like he was like, "Oh my lord," you know. That's like it was just it's a good time. Like that's the one thing about this film that I can say is it's a good time. The world that you guys have created, for the audience. um I wasn't sure what when the trailer dropped, and I was like, oh, I'm excited, and I saw posters. I wasn't sure what all what all we were to be expecting or how long it was to be. But like I said, I really wanted to see more of it. So what? How long did
I
it
do
take
have,
you guys to come up with this?
if you can see that. There's Tim hanging out in the Batmobile.
It just looks like a dream, dude. I love it. I want his swear I did. It's oh
He
my
really
god.
did.
It's
He hammed it up the whole day. This is him getting his mic pack fitted, and all he did while he was getting it fitted was make Robin jokes the entire time, made it as awkward as possible. Bobby is an expert with cars, and we actually had a really surreal moment when we had the Batmobile actually broke down on us, and none of us could get it started, not even the owner, and we had to have it drive in for another take. And Bobby's like, hold on, hold on. And without taking his costume off, without taking anything off, he just starts going in at it and starts fixing the car. And then I'm like, is no one going to take a picture of this? Batman's fixing the Batmobile in full costume. And
if that doesn't scare, wasn't it Batman Returns where he's fixing the Batmobile, or
yeah,
like Michael Keaton's fixing, like that is such a, that is so cool.
it became such a meta weird moment.
Right?
Filming that car was just so damn cool, and I actually wish I had more opportunities to get more angles of it. But that was one of the things. I put such restrictions on myself because if you notice, when we shot everything in the '89 sequence, or I should say '92, I tried to replicate the style of cinematography as closely as I could, and they stayed on steady cams and booms pretty much the entire film. They never once were on sticks or handheld. If they were, it was an effect shot. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a nightmare. So I stayed on a steady, basically doorway dolly system the entire shoot. And but when we did the '66, it was a completely different story. Steadicams didn't exist yet. In fact, Steadicams weren't even invented until 1982. So basically, it was nothing but lockdown shots and handheld. And we did one jib crane shot, which was technically a cheat, but I did it, and you can see it in the trailer. It's actually a homage to Back to the Future. That and the song that's playing that you guys hear, they haven't heard it yet. But that whole little sequence is a giant homage to the moment that that Marty walks out into the town square, and he looks really confused, and that song's playing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it without doing that shot. But I was so restricted. I really wanted to do some nice, like, doorway dolly pushes of, like, the back of the Batmobile, get some beauty shots, but I couldn't. And, like, even here's, like, a really great angle of the Batmobile, and I'm like, God, I wish I would have just got it and just told myself to shut up. I'm like, look at that. I'm like, I'm sitting here doing a crossway shot, and I could have done this beautiful, like, wide dolly shot. But that's the price of trying to be accurate, I suppose, and stupid.
Well, it was great. The thing about the transit, like, it was, again, it was one of those things where you're not really sure what happened, and you're with the character, and there's just enough confusion where you're like, huh? It really, it's I wish I could say, I really want to bring you back on and be like, all right, now that we've all seen it, like, tomorrow, like I said, you're going to be releasing it tomorrow at, was it 12 p.m.? Is it
1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time?
Okay. And question, is there going to be a sequel for this? Because, like, you guys seem to be on such a creative, like, having watched this, I'm like, God, I want more. And it's just so delicious. Or is this kind of a one and done deal?
This is kind of a one and done. Actually, technically, this is our announcement of retirement from making these types of films. Because we've been doing it for about almost 4 years now, and we're all kind of about to move on to some really large-scale projects, and which actually I don't want to give it away, but you heard some of them in that video. And so it's all based on reality, and basically how do I put this? We really, really love making them, and we have such a ridiculous fan base, and it's just so much fun. But it is so exhausting.
So
Um,
this is your kind of love letter before you kind of ship out and they're
yeah,
gone.
at least for a
With
little
other things.
while, for a couple of years. But it's not technically the end because we are because we have this, like I said, the Revenge of the Mask series. So we're going to be doing at the end of, I think it's to be June is what we're setting it for. But we're going to take all the films that we did for Revenge and put them all together into a 2 hour long movie. And we're putting in all the deleted scenes that we have removed over the years. And we're having them all remastered, the whole thing, and all the effects redone by the same company that did Jumanji. And we're going to then be shooting a new ending and a couple other new scenes. So technically, that will be the end for quite a while. But it's just right now we're all just too damn split up. Like just getting everyone together for this was a nightmare, a logistical nightmare, because Lance and Ishtaban, who shot Revenge of the Mask, they're out in Las Vegas right now shooting a couple of films, and then half the team is out there with them. And then I have Bobby and his crew are in Georgia filming another project with Bruce Willis. And then simultaneously, I'm still back here, bouncing between here and Los Angeles, filming two other projects. So I had to find this like unique span of 2 weeks where everyone was available. And if you look very closely, the person who gets out of the car in the Batmobile is not Bobby. That's actually a stand-in because we didn't even have Bobby for that first day of filming. He had to fly straight from Georgia, come straight to us, and get fitted for the bat suit and arrive on set the next day. We basically threw that poor bastard right into the frying pan. And then I want to say, yeah, Lance came in a couple days before, and then the rest of the crew trickled in. But I want to, like, literally the day after we wrapped, everybody flew out to Las Vegas. Like, we didn't even get a chance to
Mm.
have a party or anything. It was just like, okay, bye, guys. um,
It's kind of like you had fun while you were filming, and that was kind of it.
Pretty much. And then I'm going to be seeing some of them when I go down there today or tomorrow. But it's just everyone's getting too busy, which with COVID being a thing, none of us can really afford to take any time off from work, from anything. So it's just, at least with the climate, the things the way they are, I wanted to do something that would like give everybody a nice little smile on their face and say, all right, guys, got to take some time off. Thanks for hanging around. But it's not the end, but it's certainly the beginning of a long break is the best way to put it.
Well, I gotta say, as as someone like I watch a lot of fan films out there, and I've seen a lot of Batman ones. Up to now, my favorite one was the one with the Predator in it, because that was something that I'd never seen before. But I think this one, and I'm not saying it just because you're here. Like, I think this one is my new favorite, just because it's. I've never laughed so hard in such a short amount of time, and it's something, it's so different, and like I said, you really brought me back to my youth, and I think this is something I can show my son, and he'll be like, oh, I know that, oh, Dada, I'm Robin, you're Batman, like, because he loves Batman and Robin, so as a guy who loves film, fan films, thank you for that opportunity to kind of recapture a happier time where there's a lot of bad crap out there, and this is some of the good stuff. So
well, that's why we do it, right? It's to kind of slate the childhood wants in us. Everybody wants to see things on screen that never got to really exist for one reason or another. And I just thought this would be kind of a cool little experiment into a little what if, kind of give everybody a chance to see a world where it got to continue for even just a moment, and and then also just something a little bit different. And I got to admit, out of all the projects we've done, because I made so many of those damn masks for Revenge, I had a lot of fun making the props for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like like this, we got to make a couple of these, and
Oh man,
actually,
it's
this one got a little scratched up, but it has the handle, and it's so it's made off the molds that the real one was made off of, and actually,
that is so cool. Oh, oh, that's so cool, man.
we had to make 5 of these because we actually show him use it in the film you saw, and so
Yeah.
we had one that has a cable run through it that goes up through here that he can actually hold and yank the thing with, and then we had one that basically has a little charge in it, so you can see it pop and then blow this out, and then we had to make a ton of these because we had a thing or a rig where you can actually see it spinning, beside the camera, and we kept breaking it. So, but this was
I tell you,
the hero.
I tell you the one that I kind of geeked out, like the battering, the classic batterings that he had, that is to me, that's I know other Batmans have their batterings, but to me, like that's to me that's like the battering, because it's like that's Michael
Oh
Keaton
yeah,
Batman is the one that I grew up on. That's one that got me into Batman. So it's like seeing all those things replicated on your movie. Just in different POV and whatnot. And again, like you've replicated all those things.
we
Like
had to make
Kid in a Candy Factory.
oh
What's that now?
we broke so many of those. Because we actually had a lot more gags with that than I had realized we were going to do, and because we have a moment where Batman actually knocks out some lights with them, and it's hard to see, but he actually does throw them at the wall there, and we kept breaking the ends off of them. So I made probably about 25 of those batarangs.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then only 4 of them were heroes. Like, so we had these ones that actually eject out, so they like collapse, and then once you swing, it actually folds outward. And then we just had 3 of them that were foam for a stunt where he throws one at someone to hit a gun. And then the rest were just really hard impact resin, so when he throws them at the wall. And the reason why we didn't make them foam was we just couldn't get the speed to hit the wall with them, so we just let it be resin, and he kept breaking them constantly. So, and I was bummed I didn't keep a single one. I'm a prop collector, and for being a prop collector, I'm actually not very nostalgic when it comes to my own movies. So we have so much property that's left over from these movies at the end of a production. I usually only keep one thing. This one I kept 2. I kept this because it was the hardest one to make, and then I kept one of the bat suits, which I got currently in my living room, and it's
the Michael Keaton one or one of the others?
one of the Michael Keaton ones, the hero. Yep, and we're actually going to have an auction for everything that's left over from the film. And we have one of the Keaton bat suits, I think, going up. It's a stunt one, but God, we had to make so much crap for that movie. We did Jumanji. We made 15 of those game boards, and they were all sold for charity, and that was just amazing too. But I didn't even get to keep one of those. I was so mad at myself. I wanted to keep one. The only one that I kind of kept was a deconstructed one, and it's mostly because I don't think anyone wanted it.
Yeah, when you sent me the picture of like, how like everything underneath the one board, like everything above it was like, the grass, the thing, and that's where and like everything underneath that was just like, just the ground and cement and everything. And I was just like, oh, so that's how that's how they do it.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea that's how, because to me it's like, I'm fooled by the Hollywood magic, but that to me was just like, oh,
Yeah, we kind of had to do something similar with this. So that entire street that you've seen is in one. We basically pulled a Tim Burton. That's just one giant set.
Mm-hmm.
None of that's real. We had.
We're on our last day of principal photography for Batman Other Worlds. I'm here with the director, Lance Colas. And Robbie is going up to the rafters to unhook and remove a rig that we put up from yesterday. And this set is amazing.
So it's basically an amalgamation of like 8 different movie sets just stuffed together. And they're all just facades, and it was built in a giant skate land.
Mm-hmm.
And we just packeted the street with snow and put a bunch of lights in it to make it look like everything was lit up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we ended up doing that, because it was so damn cold when we did the actual whatchamacallit, the actual Batmobile recording. We realized we just couldn't do 3 days in the frigid cold, like with wire work and all kinds of stuff. Because like when we actually have Batman rappel down, he actually did rappel down. That was all a stunt, and that was just insane. Doing that, Bobby did that himself, and he had to hang up there on the rafters. And we had a moment where me and Lance were bitching, and he had a Tropic Thunder moment when he just was like hanging up there, going, "What the fuck is going on?" and yeah, he must have done that drop like 12 times. I mean, obviously you only see one in the movie, but he did that quite a bit actually. But I actually put him through a lot of pain in that. He had to drop down. He got shot. He had to do flip over somebody, which didn't even end up in the final cut. So that was interesting.
Well, you guys, how many days were you guys filming this? You said
1 week was the whole project, from start to finish. But we were prepping for about a month.
Well, you like I said, there's been a lot of Batman films, and this is probably one of, I think this is probably my new favorite, because like I said, it's got, I laughed. It's got a bunch of throwbacks to stuff that I didn't realize I even wanted. Like I said, the Billy D. Williams Two-Face, Robin, this. This, I like the Titans, but this is probably my new favorite Robin, because he's so charismatic. Good luck for your premiere tomorrow. You guys are dropping this at, you said 1:00 Eastern. You said?
Yep, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
It's going to be on the Revenge of the Mask YouTube page.
Okay.
I believe there's already a link up there now, for set as a premiere. And I can give you one more little sneak peek here. So this is our, in case it was hard to see in the trailer, this is our Billy D. Williams Two-Face.
There we go. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he really comes across as creepy, and it reminded me a lot of of the animated series Two-Face, where it's just like you don't want to be around the guy. He came across a lot like the like Billy D. Williams would have, a good amalgamation of the two, of the animated or Billy D. Williams. Like, it's just, you were really frightened by this character. He did a lot better than Tommy Lee Jones.
Surprised to hear that nobody's done a fan film with a Billy D. Williams Two-Face yet. It was really surprising to find out. I actually had to find this out from Chris from Blinky Productions. Mm-hmm. He messaged me randomly and he said, "You dick, you beat me to it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I was going to be the first one to do a Billy D. Williams Two-Face." I'm like, "No one's done that before? Really?" I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "And who's the woman that's with him?" I'm like, "It's Gilda Dent, his wife, Holiday from the comics." And he's like, "Damn it. I was going to, do her character too."
Oh, yeah, was that? See, I didn't pick up on. See, I was wondering. I was like, why did? Again, I won't spoil it. I was wondering. I was like, why did that happen? Like, I didn't understand that part. I was like, I don't get that. Like, I was like, okay, I'm missing something. Now that makes sense. Oh shit! Now I get it. That sounds fucking mind blowing. That's genius, dude. That's genius. See, you're adding so much there that see, this is this is why you need to do more. It's so good.
Well, I really appreciate
it's so good.
Me on. This has been fun.
Well, you on your future projects, you're welcome to come back at any time. I have a small audience, but they're very loyal, and you're always welcome to come back anytime you want to pimp out your stuff, because I enjoy talking to you, man. You're a lot more knowledgeable on this stuff than I am, and I enjoy talking to you. I will send me the link to the premiere, and I will put it in the description of this video. And so then anyone who watches the rewind can just click on the link and then go. Before we go, if my internet connection works good, let's watch the trailer one more time. So anybody who's still here, since we've had some people stumble in, let's see if we can watch the trailer. 1 second.
There's one more thing I could send you too.
Just want to start a flame in your heart.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to catch out. Like, I was pressing like 2 or 3 times, and then it popped up. I was like, "Oh shit!" There we go. So I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I have a behind the scenes thing that if you want to show them that Attack on Show did for us. They came by our set. I just shot it over to your Facebook. I don't know how that works, but if you want to send it out to them, you can.
I can put that in the description. So yeah, I'll put that in the description. Like I had to upload the trailer into the stream, so that's how that works. But I'll put that in the description so they can click on that, and they can click on the thing for tomorrow. So yeah, if you guys, anyone in the please click on the links that will be in the description in probably like 5 minutes, whatever. Me 2 minutes after the StreamYards ends, and then click on the links in the description. Please go support.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, no problem, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Honestly, tomorrow, this is a really good movie. Go support them tomorrow. Go check out their channel. Go like them, subscribe. They're great people. It's a great film. You won't be disappointed. Trust me. You're going to find something there. If you're a fan of the 66 Batman, you're going to love it. If you're a fan of the Michael Keaton Batman, you're going to love it. If you're a fan of just Batman in general, you're going to love it. If you hate Batman, you're probably going to find something there you like anyway. I mean, if you're a fan of just films, you're going to find something there visually you like. Trust me, these people are good people. They're good, honest people. Just go support them. So, like I said, about 5 minutes after I'm done with the stream, go click on the links that I'm going to put in the description. Support these people. Geeks helping geeks. That's the only way we survive in this world, especially in the world of COVID. You know. So with that in mind, Dylan, I want to say thank you for coming on. Especially, I know last time we tried to set something up, things got a little caca on me. Thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for coming on. And I really mean it. Next time you have a project that you're doing, stop by, even if it's just for a few minutes. Let me showcase, even if we can get you one extra fan. I know from experience that one fan can make a big difference.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, everybody at home, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.